Hey everybody, it's Jared Hope with Tilt Property Group, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 buying keys when you're investing in rental properties. Now, these are just 3 generic, 3 standard buying criteria that I look for. Now, there's many ways to do it. If you're just buying for pure appreciation, that's a different strategy. If you're buying for pure mortgage buy down, that's a strategy. But what I like to do is I like to buy real estate rental properties for 3 things. The very first thing I like to buy for is plain and simple, good old-fashioned cash flow. So cash flow to me is after your mortgage, taxes, insurance, property management, repairs and maintenance, and vacancy are all covered. That's what cash flow to me is. Now what I look for is I look for anything $400 and up. So my ideal target number is actually $500 a month of positive cash flow after all my expenses are paid. By going for $400 to $500 a month, what that allows me to do is it allows me to ride out a storm, for example, if the market turns and gets soft, like what we're seeing in Alberta right now. In 2015, the market started dropping. 2016, it continued to drop, and we're finally just starting to see an uptick. So if I bought properties for that $400 to $500 a month cash flow, what that means is I actually have $400 that I can lower my rent just to stay afloat. The second thing I look for is mortgage buy down. Mortgage buy down. So what this is, every single month there's 2 parts of your mortgage payment. There's principal and then there's interest. So what I look for is I want mortgage buy down. So back in the day when I started buying real estate, a lot of my properties I was just doing interest only payments on it. Now what that did was it allowed me to have more cash flow. So my cash flow went from maybe $400, maybe it went up to $800 or $900. But what it didn't do was give me mortgage buy down. So fast forward 10 years later, I haven't actually bought down any of these debts. So for me, what I'm after right now is mortgage or cash flow plus mortgage buy down. And together combined in 15 to 20 years, if I took all my cash flow, put it onto my mortgage in 5, well maybe not 5, but in 7 to 12 years, I could have this house paid off, which then increases my cash flow, takes care of my life. The third thing I look for, which is kind of the gravy, it's the dessert. And the reason why it's the dessert is kind of like when you go to the kegger, you go for a nice dinner. Sometimes, you're nice and full, and sometimes you get dessert, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get it, you didn't really want it, right? But appreciation is the third thing. So the thing about appreciation is that's the unknown. So if you actually look at the Edmonton market over the last 25 years, real estate has gone up on average 5.87% over the last 25 years. That's huge. So, but appreciation might not be realized if you buy a house and plan to sell it next year, because it's the Alberta market. Alberta market goes up and down. But if you're always buying based on cash flow and mortgage buy down and you plan to sell in 10 to 15 years, you will capture appreciation. In the event that you don't, you've bought down your house about $8,000 to $10,000 a year. Actually, your tenants are buying down the house $8,000 to $10,000 a year. So therefore, in 10 years, you just made $80,000 to $100,000 just from point number 2, plus your cash flow. So if you keep it that simple, nice and simple, buy on 3 buying principles, understanding that this one, number 3, is the unknown. You might not get it. The only way you will get this possibly is if you just got to wait it out a little bit longer. Those 3 principles alone will limit or minimize the risk that you get in real estate. And it'll also increase the chances of success. So with that said, share it, like it, follow us on Facebook, repost it, put a comment on the bottom, and happy investing, everybody.